I'm Solenne Toum from ATEE, and I'm also part of the ENSMOV Plus project. And I hope you liked the presentation this morning. And if you haven't had enough yet, I'm going to show you the resources we are developing in the ENSMOV project. So, first of all, okay. Few tips to navigate the ENSMOV Plus platform. You have the link in the agenda sheets on the first page. And there is two menus where you can find information. The first one is topic, and the second one is policy cycle. This morning, we only talk about the EEOS, but there is a lot of things to know also about alternative measures. About the resources we are currently developing within the ENSMOV Plus project, we are making cases, examples from different countries. There's 3 topics. There's soon topics to discuss, but we haven't decided on yet. And you can also find resources from the past ENSMOV project. So there is a case about monitoring and verification. Those are already available on the platform and will be available soon. The case on energy potential studies and another one on behavioral measures. I'm going to go quickly about the cases. You can see there are many cases from many countries and jump straight to the potential energy saving potentials. So from EEOS, so energy efficiency scheme, energy potential is really important to assess. And we made case from Greece and Lithuania, and there's also 2 cases from France. The first one is about the ADEME White Certificate Energy Potential Study, which is a global study on energy potential in France for the White Certificate. And the second one is supported by ATEE and ADEME, and it's about potential study, but in the service sector and in the tertiary sector in particular. And I'm going to pass the mic to Tony, who will be going more into details about the last study.
Thank you very much, Solène. We just change the slides. Very good. Yes, so I'm going to tell about the study we did the past few months on the French EEOS support for the saving targets in the tertiary sector. First of all, I'm Tony Goma. I'm a management consultant from Julhiet Sterwen. And we did this study together with my partners for ATEE and ADEME. About the agenda that we propose, I will try to be fast. I think everyone wants to have lunch. First of all, I'm going to tell about the objectives of the study. Just wait a few seconds. Yes, I think everyone can see it now. Thank you so much. So the objectives of the study, then the method we use to assess the technical potential, the results of this technical potential assessment, the results on the economic viability, and then conclude. So 4 main objectives for this study. First of all, doing a synthesis of the French and European regulatory frameworks, then an inventory of the financing opportunities at both national and regional levels. Third, an assessment of the technical energy saving potential and new actions to try to increase this potential. And last, the analysis of the synergies and misalignments that can exist between the 2 main schemes regarding the tertiary energy saving. I do a quick focus on the law regarding tertiary energy savings. 3 main objectives: 40% reduction in 2030, 50% in 2040, and 60% in 2050. I go quickly on the French EEOS because a lot have been said this morning already. I just want to catch your attention on the last graphic. If we compare the part of the tertiary sector in the final energy consumption, we see it's 16%, and it's only 7% of the white certificate issuing. About the method we use to assess the technical potential. So this is what we wanted to have. What we did is we segmented the tertiary sector on several segments. On the bottom right of the slide, you have the segmentation we shows. Basically, we segmented and we also focused on a part of the tertiary sector, not all of the tertiary sector, because we didn't have the time in the mission. So we looked at offices and administration, stores, healthcare, and education. So to have the total technical potential, we have to sum the potential on each segment. And for a given segment, what we do is that we assess the floor area of the segment, and then we multiply it by the doable savings per square meter per year. How do we have the floor area? We did a crossing of two databases, the national databases of building and the national databases of companies. And then we calculate the floor area for each tenant of these buildings. So after that, about the doable savings, we selected a group of standardized action or standardized operation from the French EEOS. And for each action, we assessed the mean savings that we could have on the segment. Then we just have to multiply both to get to the potential. The results of this potential, I'm not going to comment each of the segments, but basically what we can see is that the pink bars are the potential that we can do with the current catalog of the EEOS, and the yellow bars are the new proposed action that we did in the study. Basically, we can see that on 5 of the 13 segments, we can reach the 2050 objective technically, but on 2 of the segments, the store segments, we see that even the 2030 objective is not reachable technically, so we have to see how to tap this potential. This was for the technical part. For the economic part, a lot of stuff in this slide. I will tell you how to read the graphic. So first, the vertical axis is the bonus calculated to satisfy the economic criteria of the consumers. So basically, the height of each bar is to say, okay, what EEOS bonus should I have so that I can do the operation with profitability. The horizontal bar is the white certificate potential, so in terawatt-hour CUMAC, as we measure it in France. And basically, you have this sorting of the operation. At the top of the graphic, you have some bubbles. Into these bubbles, you have, in fact, the ratio between the 2022 issuing and the potential. So basically, if this ratio is above 1, it means that the EEOS is accelerating the operation. If this ratio is below 1, it means that there is no acceleration of the operation. Yes, if we focus on the left of the graphic, we can see that the operation bonuses are quite low, close to 15 euros per megawatt hour. It's close to the penalty level, so we can say that they are quite profitable, and we can see also that they are quite accelerated. In fact, there are some issuing in this operation. But if we look at the right of the graphic, we see that the bonuses are much higher, and finally, they are very low accelerating paces. And whereas these operations are those who have the highest impact on energy savings, because we can see heat pump installation, efficient boiler installation, wall insulation, windows installation, and so forth. So basically, the operations that are necessary to reach the 2050 objective in the tertiary sector. Finally, to conclude, we think that there are a kind of misalignment between the objectives of the two schemes, because on one hand, the EEOS implies to make in competition the different sectors and the different actions, whereas in the tertiary decree, the action has to be high impact and it's focused on the tertiary sector. So kind of misalignment. We think that using the EEOS and the white certificates alone to compensate for the lack of competitiveness of high impact action would require to increase the proportion in an unsustainable way for the end consumer. So we are not sure that the EEOS is the only scheme that should be applied to tertiary sector. There are still some obstacles remaining. So I talked about the profitability, the low profitability of high impact actions, about the lack of acceleration of those ones. Also, I would like to add that sometimes the additional costs of the works cannot always be absorbed by the local property market. So if you are a tenant of a building in a market with low rents, sometimes you are not willing to pay much more so that you can cover the works. Finally, there are still some opportunities to reach the objectives. The 2050 objective is already reachable on 5 of the segments. Today, the EEOS is actually financing and accelerating a little bit some action with, even if they have limited gains. And we think that there are still untapped potentials with the EEOS scheme that can be studied so that we can add some actions to the EEOS catalog. Thank you very much.
Any question in the room about this study? That was all clear. Maybe I have one, because you assessed the potential of the white certificate scheme, right, for the achievement of the decree. But do you think that there are also other energy savings opportunities that the building sites in the service sector can use to achieve their obligation?
Yes, I think we can add some new actions, maybe. And that is, I didn't tell about this, but that is what appears in green in this graphic. I think that answers to your question. Basically, this is the new action that we proposed so that we can increase this potential. And maybe what we should have done, I talked about the stores segments. Maybe what we should have done is to focus on this one, because this is untapped potential, so that we propose dedicated action. But yes, I think still we can try to increase the potential.